Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I hope you guys are doing wonderful out there. I've got a good video for you today. We're going to talk about another offering from ThruNite today. This is the Catapult Pro. And as you can see, this light was shipped out in cool white. You can also get it in neutral white. I want to say thank you right off the bat to ThruNite for sending this light out for review. So let's open this up. As you can see, everything comes packaged very well from ThruNite. And right off the bat, the first thing that we see is the user manual. I'm just going to scroll through this very quickly. It comes in multiple languages, as you can see. And real quick, I'm just looking for the English portion, which is right here. So feel free to pause your screen if you want to read anything along this lines a little bit longer. And I will be talking about everything that you're seeing here in this video today. So the next thing that we see is a little bag here. There's a replacement charge port cover. There is a lanyard. It looks like there's actually two replacement charge port covers. Lanyard, there's two O-rings, there's a silicone switch replacement, and a little split key ring. So that's pretty cool. They include more accessories than they normally do. So I really like that. I think that's good. Thumbs up to ThruNite for doing that. Next thing that we see is the charging cable. This is USB-A to USB-C. So very nice. So this is the same cable that I use for charging my GoPro. I use this cable for charging my phone. And the cool thing about this is you can plug this in just about anywhere. So you can plug it into a solar panel, a battery bank, your car, your wall outlet, all kinds of places. So very, very cool. Next thing that we see in the package is the light itself. And there's nothing left in the package except for some silica gel, so we'll set that aside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the light here. As you can see, it does come in a ThruNite holster. This is a very thin holster. Okay, so it has a little attachment point here for a standard belt. It does not have a clip or anything like that, so you could attach this to MOLLE. This does have to go on a belt. It does have a really nice plastic D-ring. This is a thin holster. Velcro enclosure, but it looks like the holster is just enough to get the job done. It is very thin though, thinner than holsters that I'm used to seeing in the past, so thinner material. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just pointing that out because that's what I'm observing right now. Now we're going to take the light out of the bag that it comes in, and right off the bat you can see there's a little tag that's attached to the light. And they're basically telling us to screw down the battery tube and the tail cap to make sure they're tight, otherwise the light won't work. So it's in manual lockout mode. So while we're talking about that, let's go ahead and pop this thing apart and look and see what kind of battery comes with this light. As you can see, we have a 26650 cell, operates at 5,000 milliamp hour of capacity. There's the positive and there is the negative, so it's very nice. Good battery here. And looking inside the battery tube, you can see that there's thick aluminum and a nice spring down in the bottom of the battery tube. Now positive goes towards the top of the light. And then if we look here at the head of the flashlight, you can see a nice solid contact point. Very good construction. So as you thread this battery tube on, you'll notice this O-ring goes underneath this portion of the flashlight. When you tighten this down, this creates an IPX8 waterproof standard. Now right here, there's only one switch on the light to operate the light, so it's very nice, very convenient. This light does tail stand, so I thought that was cool. So you got a deep lens here, glass lens, clear reflector. So there's no pattern or anything like that. Take this charge port cover off. It doesn't have to come all the way off, just out of the way. And you can plug in your USB-C here and you'll get 3 different colors. Hopefully you only see 2 colors. You'll see red when you're charging, and that'll illuminate right here, and then blue when charging is complete. And then when charging is complete, you put that charge port cover back into place, otherwise you're not going to be waterproof. Okay, now in the event that you see purple, that's telling you that you're having abnormal charging, and the most common thing that I've seen when that happens is things just aren't tight here. So make sure that you tighten this thing up before you charge the light, and you shouldn't have any problems. Now you can use the light while charging. You can use it on Firefly or low. So very cool. Now operating this light is extremely simple. We're going to go to the lowest setting possible, which is Firefly, and to get there we're just going to push and hold. You'll see that Firefly comes on. This is 0.7 lumens, and on this setting it lasts a remarkable 42 days of runtime. So that is absolutely fantastic. A single press turns the light off, and another single press turns the light back on. So right now we're on infinity low, which is 42 lumens. This will last 53 hours of runtime. Now if you want to look at that and convert that into days, that's 2.20 days. That's crazy. So over 2 days. Now you can stop at anywhere in the spectrum. So if I start ramping up and I stop there and I turn the light off and I turn it back on, it'll remember that setting that we were on. And if I want to continue and move towards high, I'll just push the button and I'll start climbing up and we'll get to high. You see those acknowledgement flashes when you get to the top or bottom of the spectrum. Now high, we're looking at 1482 lumens. Now what's really impressive about this is we have 24 minutes of runtime before this steps down to prevent overheating. That is fantastic. Once it steps down, it'll step down to 909 lumens, and it'll stay there for an additional 2 hours of runtime. Now this light does have a turbo, and to access that we're just going to double press. We're going to get to the turbo. This is 2713 lumens, and again, very impressive, 9 minutes before step down. And after step down it's 961 lumens for an additional 90 minutes or 1.5 hours. So if you want the brightest light possible after step down, it's better on this particular model to do it from turbo than from high. Now this light also offers a strobe function. We'll triple press. You'll see this strobe comes on. This is 776 lumens, very disorienting strobe, and this will last for 3 hours of runtime. Single press turns the light off, and another single press will turn the light back to the last setting prior to turbo or strobe. But here we are on high. Now if I go back to turbo, you can see that this is 1005 meters of throw. And on this setting of turbo, we get 252,500 candela. That is fantastic. This light has an impact resistant rating down to 1.5 meters, and it's IPX8 waterproof down to 2 meters. Now when you turn the light on, you'll see this indicator here. This is also not just the charging indicator, but this is also a power level indicator telling us in real time the status of the battery. So as you can see here, we're illuminated blue, and that's telling us that our battery life is between 21 and 100%. Now if this turns red, it's telling us that our battery is between 11 and 20%, and in the event that you see a flashing red indicator here, that's because our battery life is between 1 and 10%, and if you do not see a battery level indicator at all, it's one of two things. You're either your battery's dead or about to die, or you're on Firefly. So if I turn it off and push and put it onto that Firefly mode, you can see that we do not have a battery level indicator in Firefly mode. To lock the light out from Firefly, you're just going to push and hold until Firefly goes away, and you'll notice the red indicator. Every time you try to turn the light on, you're going to get that red indicator telling you that you're in lockout mode. Now to unlock from off, of course, and from the locked position, we're just going to push and hold until we see Firefly. See Firefly there? Now we're unlocked. The weight of the light is 206 grams. That's without the battery. We are 150.5 millimeters long. We are 65 millimeters at the head and 33.5 millimeters at the body. The LED that they're using on this light is a SFT70.1 LED. Okay, let's pour a little water. We're going to test the IPX8 waterproof rating on this light. We'll just drop that in the water, and I'm holding it up because I don't want the tag to get wet. But you can see that that light is just all inside of that water, no problem. So when we pull the light out, you can cycle through the modes, turn the light off, and again it's infinity, so it climbs, it gets to the highest setting, and it gives you that acknowledgement flash at the highest, and it'll also do it at the lowest. And we'll triple press to try to get the strobe. There we go. Single press turns it off, single press turns it back on, double press for turbo. There we go, and turn it off. Long press for Firefly mode. And as you can see, this light clearly passes the IPX8 waterproof testing with flying colors. Okay, right now you can see the light is on Firefly mode. This is 0.7 lumens, 42 days of runtime. And you can see it down there in the distance. This light actually produces a pretty good amount of a light back there. Now looking closer at my hand or something like that, if I wanted to find a splinter or something like this, or look in a bag and I don't want to wake up the whole camp, this is a good setting, and the runtime of 42 days is absolutely fantastic. And again, the tight center hotspot gives you just enough light. If you wanted to walk a dog and you want to be very discreet or something like that, this is a good setting for something like that. And if I turn the light off and I turn it on, we will come on to low. This is 42 lumens. Again, 53 hours of runtime, 2.20 days. That is fantastic. And now I'm just going to ramp up. We're just going to slowly climb. I'll stop a little bit. I'm somewhere in the middle, and I'll ramp all the way up to the top. There we are. We're looking at high. 1482 lumens for 24 minutes before step down. And I love the pattern. You see this tight hot spot, a lot of spill into kind of a floody looking beam. So it's very nice. After 24 minutes, it'll step down to 909 lumens for an additional 2 hours of runtime. Now if I double press, we're going to get into turbo. 2713 on the lumens for 9 minutes, and then it'll step down to 961 for an hour and a half. So that's turbo. Now if I want to check out the strobe, we'll triple press. 1, 2, 3. This is 776 lumens for 3 hours. Single press turns the light off, single press turns it back on to high, which was what we had before we went into turbo. And again, if I push and hold the button, I'll cycle down, and it's infinity. I can go anywhere within the spectrum and stop. So let's say I'm on my way climbing up, and I like that right there. I can turn it off and turn it back on, and it'll come right back to that. Again, quick access to turbo, we just double press. And quick access also from anywhere, we can go into that strobe with a triple press. 1, 2, 3. So this is a light, does a good job, and single press turns it off, single press turns it back on, and you can see that it still remembers where we were before we went to turbo or strobe. So very nice. Again, it's ramping, so very cool. I like to leave my lights on the lowest setting usually, so that when I turn them on, they don't blind the world. But hopefully you enjoyed those night shots. I like the beam pattern on this light. I think they did a good job on it. So my final thoughts on this ThruNite Catapult Pro. I like this light. I think they did a really good job on it. I like the way that it shows that beam, the tight hot spot. This is not a magnetic tail cap, So if you want this to stick to things, this isn't going to do that. It's just it will tell stand. So if you want to use it as a night light on your end table or something in firefly mode, something like that, you could definitely do that. And it'll shine that light straight up and you'll have some kind of light in your room at night. I do that quite often, and 42 days of runtime is fantastic. So I like the light. I really enjoy the fact that they include more accessories than they used to. So I think that's cool. 2 charge port covers, that's impressive. And a switch silicone, I think that's cool, plus a split key ring. Very nice. So I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave comments down below. Like this video, share this video, and until next time, have a beautiful day. We'll see you then. Bye for now. We're gonna put that in that holster. That is wonderful. It's a nice light. Thanks for watching.